reconciliation, and as such taken as a mark of weakness, so he had to wait until the evening before learning the result of the governor and superintendent's combined diplomacy. He saw at once that things had gone well. Both men showed their satisfaction in ways peculiarly characteristic. Campbell with an air of preternatural shrewdness, Watson more orotund of phrase than ever, and with a tendency to rub his long-fingered hands together. There had been a dramatic reversal of attitude on the part of their two dinner guests, both of whom had spoken in favour of granting all the land east of the river, and even some on the west side. And this, coming from such respected and influential figures, had found general support among the chiefs. "They must have talked half the night, sir, after leaving us," Watson said. "Character will show in the end. They have no firmness of purpose, none at all. I've seen it before. They try to impose upon us. They see it as of no avail, and that we are people that cannot be intimidated. Then comes the fear of losing what they had thought we would be coerced to give. We seize the moment to make some special offer. Result?" He made fluttering gestures with his hands. "Capitulation, sir," he said. "Absolute and total." His large yellowish teeth were exposed in a smile, the first Erasmus could remember seeing on his face. "I have transported those medals all over the southern states of America," he said. "And they weigh, sir. They're deuced heavy." "We will present the treaty tomorrow, and there is reason now to think that we'll sign it," Campbell said. "And a good piece of business it will be for England, and King George, God bless him, and I hope our services will be recognized." On the following day, at Fort Bicolata, 30 of the principal men of the Lower Creek Nation put their marks against their names, and the whole of the land from the coast to the river and southwards to its source was made available for settlement. Large medals were then bestowed upon Talachia, Captain Alec, and another chief named Estime, who had supported the English cause, while Wiofke, Lachigi, and Chehagi were all made small medal chiefs. This was done in a solemn ceremony, the superintendent presenting the chiefs to the governor, who hung the medals about their necks, while the guns of the fort sounded out, repeated by those on board the East Florida schooner. That evening, at the residence, there was a celebratory dinner to which all the chiefs were invited. The governor, resplendent in scarlet and gold, made a speech in which he declared that Florida would be held by the crown in perpetuity, and that he looked forward to a long and fruitful cooperation between the red men and their white brothers. Talachia, his large medal shining on his chest, replied for the assembled chiefs. He was Tana, flame of tongue, and he was glad to hear the words of the governor. He hoped that blankets would soon be given to the people, as it was getting cold, and one blanket was not enough. These remarks were greeted by the assembled chiefs with deep, guttural exclamations of agreement. The superintendent then congratulated the medal chiefs, both large and small, and said that all the people of the creeks, whether or not they had been honoured with medals, had acquired that day a friend and father in the Great White King. In point of fact, the Great White King was just then embarking on policies destined to loosen the whole of North America within 2 decades and bring about a total destruction of the Creek Nation. He had begun already to talk rather rapidly and incoherently at times, and his urine had started to show a dark red colour, mystifying to his physicians. At around midnight, the chiefs left in a body, many by this time unsteady on their feet, and some needing to be helped onto their horses by the young braves who had been waiting in the compound of the residence. Watson, who had a weak stomach and not much liking for festivities in any case, had retired at an early stage, and the garrison officers now returned to their quarters, Redwood flushed and staring with what he had drunk, but still sufficiently in command of himself. In leaving, he expressed to Campbell his belief that the medal chiefs would find their trophies useful some day in stopping the bullets of their English brothers, a remark the governor found of questionable taste. His departure left Erasmus and Campbell alone together. Neither of them was yet inclined to retire for the night. Neither had drunk more than moderately, sharing a certain kind of abstemiousness and a dislike for any loss of control. Both men in their different ways were in happy mood, though Erasmus was aware that matters had still to be settled with regard to his expedition. "This is a great occasion, Kemp," Campbell said. "Let us have a drop more brandy. We can go into my study. It is more comfortable there." This was the room where the conduct of the negotiations had been plotted with Watson, and the pages of Campbell's uncompleted report still covered the desk. A historic occasion.